what have you done as far as like time management for yourself, like with the podcast and weightlifting and creating promos and videos and stuff? How have you balanced all that?
I would say the two main things, and I said this before. Um, it's one, don't care about like basically reduce the number of things you care about to as small as possible,
Mm.
and then so start there, and then if you can get a good routine together, that's the best. Where um, like I use Jocko as an example because his routine is solid. Where he wakes up super early and then he works out. Now, if working out is important to you, waking up early before anybody and everything and getting it done, bro, that's like a whole big part of like your requirements being complete, being done. And if you don't care about that many things, it's like, bro, that's a big deal. It's almost like you just eliminated that from being an obligation in a way. So if you have a solid like routine where it's like, okay, workout's going to be part of the routine pretty much every day, and then you have other things that are essential part of the routine. Be sure that you can schedule those things at a time that you can get it done. So if you're like scheduling something like right before dinner or right before something that you need to get done, it's like that you're kind of setting yourself up for a little bit of failure there, because so many things can happen, and then you got to go and do that next thing. So the likelihood of you skipping that thing that you say is important, that kind of goes up. So if you can have a solid routine and then not get distracted by a bunch of other stuff that's not important, I'd say that's the main thing.
The distraction stuff's a real thing these days, bro. Like the
Yes, it is.
the phone and everything else that people have trouble with. Do you got any, like, so with me, anytime I sit down to actually do any sort of creative work, my phone stays out of the room.
Yeah.
And throughout the day,
Yeah.
my phone's typically in do not disturb mode so that it doesn't ding, so it doesn't bother me. And I've become kind of known as a person that like I might not get back to you immediately because I'm doing stuff. Do you have anything? What's that?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I don't like it. It's just like it is the way it has to be. Otherwise, I don't get things done.
Yeah.
Do you have any things that you've done to sort of reduce the amount of distractions you deal with?
Yeah, but these aren't anything really new. But I will say that I've done these things or do these things, and they do work as far as that goes. So it's at least 1 hour, hopefully 2 hours after you wake up. Like I don't allow myself to go on the phone. Like no email, no like nothing. Like back in the day when I first, before I started implementing these little tactics or whatever, right when I wake up, you check the phone to see, to whatever, hit the alarm or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I'd stay on the phone. I'd be like, what up? Or, freaking straight up. So it's Instagram, freaking email, like this, what's happening today, kind of a thing. And I didn't really think of it as this bad thing. I just thought like, yeah, I'm seeing what's happening, what's going on in the world today, kind of a thing. But then, you watch videos and you read stuff, and it's like they say, from what I read, it's like, hey, don't do that, and then there's all these reasons. So I'm like, cool. So 2 hours after I wake up, no phone at all. And if you have things to do, you do those things. If you work out, you do work, you focus on doing the workout, but no phone, whatever. Like no matter what, no phone. So that's a big one. And you'd be surprised how much stuff you can get done in 2 hours if the phone is not an option. And then also like if it's dinner time or whatever, and don't make other people do this. Like don't talk trash to them if they don't do this. But if it's dinner time or you're hanging out with someone or whatever, like keep your phone in your pocket on do not disturb or whatever, where the phone is not part of you guys hangout or part of you guys conversation, especially at like dinner. I have a family and stuff.
Yeah.
So, a lot back before this, my phone would be straight up on the dinner table, like flagrantly on the dinner table. So the phone is kind of part of our dinner. It's like looking back on it, it's like, man, it's night and day, where if the phone is not part of it, man, you'd be surprised how much like you can interact and find out about your kids and, kind of connect with people, and you can really feel it. So that's a big one. I'm not quite, they say too, like stay off your phone like before you go to bed.
Yeah.
I'm not that advanced yet, but
Okay.
maybe one day. But I'd say those two things, like the phone, there's certain times, just like how you said, Julie, where there's certain times where the phone is not part of the gig. It's just not part of what you're doing right now. And then I think subconsciously it can kind of put it into perspective that, bro, you don't need that phone. every time, because there's a party that you kind of feel like, oh, I'm missing out on something, or what if someone's texting me, or like whatever. That's not that deep. Like, but you don't need your phone every single second of the day. Just like you don't need to respond to everybody. Like nowadays, like what this person, you're obligated to like everyone who has your number now to get like back to them or whatever. It's like, right, when you think about it, it's not really like that. So I think if you just sort of remember that, it'll get way easier, you know?
Yeah, the phone.